Welcome, students. This is going to be an introduction to Excel. For some of you, you used Excel last year, so this looks very familiar to you. For others of you, you didn't, and this will all be a shock. That's okay. Excel is a tool that's used to create lists of things and then to do the math for you so that you don't have to stress about the math. It involves lots of numbers, but the numbers that we're going to talk about, hopefully you will want to do. What you're looking at right now is my Excel spreadsheet that I've kind of I used this last year when we were rebuilding the wood shop, and I was asking for different hand tools. So you can see there's three different blue sections, one for hammers, one for planes, one for saws, and then in between there, the white sections are just kind of random things that I was asking for. I did not get everything I asked for. So let's just be clear. If you go into the wood shop, you will not find all of these things. However, this was part of my proposal that I requested, and I thought it was super helpful. You'll also see that beside on the other side, there is an internet link for everything that was there because that was what they asked me to do, was to provide an internet link to the purchase of every possible item. Again, these are not where they bought them from. They could have bought them from anywhere. It was up to the school district to choose where they were going to make those purchases. But I just provide those links in case you want to know, hey, what is this thing? You can click on it and it will pop open a internet page, and it will show you a picture of the thing and it will show you the cost. A couple of them, I did this a year ago, so a couple of these links don't work anymore. If that happens, just shoot me a message in Microsoft Teams chat and I will update the file. Your task, should you choose to accept it or not, mission impossible. Your task is to determine what is the best that you can do, what is the best that you can request for under $2,000. Now, I'm giving you more than I got. They told me I had to go under 1,500, but I'm giving you an extra $500 to play with. So what is the best that you can request for under $2,000? In the first situation, I want you to go through this little box here. I've already created a box for you called quantity. And I want you to look at each item and say, how many do you think we will need? So how many 8-ounce claw hammers? If you look on the wall, there's some wooden hammers that are kind of smallish. How many small hammers do you think that we will need? Just as an example, if you look on the wall and count them, I put 14. And that was my request, was to have 14. I have 7 tables in the wood shop. I wanted 2 hammers per table, and so therefore that's where the 14 came from. I also put in a request for claw hammers that were 16 ounces. Those are the regular full strength hammers that you see. They're usually a solid metal handle with a kind of a rubber grip on the bottom. And I also requested 14 of those. Maybe you don't think you need 14. Maybe you think just need 1 per table, and so you're going to request 7. And you can kind of keep going down this list. And if you don't know what an item is, maybe you don't think it's worth the money, so you put 0 or just leave it blank. That's up to you. The inventory column here, you don't need to make any changes to this. This is just what we had in the wood shop before we started making purchases. So what I was going to do later on when I do the subtotal is I look at the cost, which I've already gone through the internet. That's what all these links are for. I already went through and wrote down the cost so that you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through all these links and write down the cost. I've done that for you. In this box over here, which is the subtotal, I'm going to teach you a formula that you're going to put in, and then I'm going to teach you how to copy that formula all the way down the page in order for the subtotal to happen. Down here at the bottom, there's a box that's called total. And I'm going to have, we're going to use a formula called sum, and we're going to sum all of these subtotals in order to give us a total at the bottom. And then just to make it more obvious, this total at the top, we're actually going to just create a straight link down to the bottom total, and then we're going to be done. So this activity probably will take you less than a class, maybe a full class, depending on how long you think it'll take. And then I want you to talk with a teammate about whether you chose the right quantities, whether you got it under $2,000, and then you're going to basically continue to change these quantities over here until your total becomes less than 2,000. So there's 2 things that we're doing here. One is you're going to make your best guess about what kinds of tools we need in the wood shop. Number 2, I'm going to teach you how to do a formula for the subtotals. I'm going to teach you how to do a total for the formula, and then you're going to determine, is that under $2,000, and what can you change in the quantity in order to get that number to be under $2,000. So that's our task for today. You might want to go ahead and start working on the quantity right now and kind of make your best guesses about what things you need, and then we'll teach you how to do the subtotal formulas and the total formulas later on.